Let's talk some toys in here. Hey, what's everyone doing today, YouTube? It's man-child. Alright, so on my doorstep, a couple days ago, I got my eBay drop-offs. I got Masterverse Revelation Wave 3. Yeah, I got them on eBay like everything. It should be hitting retail next 2-3 weeks, maybe. Probably they might be coming in the, usually they come to California area first and whatnot. I don't know where the sellers got them from, but that old story. But anyway, so pretty much in this wave, we have, and up here, first on review, right, top of the list will be Stinkor. Man, what a cool job on him. I'm liking these Revelation figures, regardless of how people felt with the direction the cartoon went. We got some cool figures out of the line, I'll say that. So in Wave 3, you get Fisto, you got Andrea, Scareglow, and obviously, like I said, Stinkor. Now, I do have Fisto in hand here, right? Just curious what he looks like, and there'll be separate reviews. Got Andrea here, curious, back, separate review coming as well. All right, and this is, now I don't have Scareglow in the Wave 3. This is the Mattel Creations one, but more or less you're getting, I think, the same figure with his iconic, that axe staff, but I don't think you're getting a sword. I think you also might get some spare hands, and everything from when I seen the images looks the same, so that's why I didn't get him. But boxing for closer look, yeah, excellent, man. Comes with the spare head with the mask, like from I remember in the cartoon. That's pretty neat. Some spare hands, right? So we got the Revelation. It's collector-friendly box. Now mine's got damage, but I'm gonna take him out. I'm not gonna put him back in, set him up. Comes with a shield, looks like Netflix. Bring it back around. You read the bio there. It's got its own art, and again, these are all 4 figures in line. Pretty neat. So yeah, I'm loving it. I couldn't be more happier for Stinkor. So let's get this guy out of the box and check him out. All right, so we got Stinkor out of the package. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Looks reminiscent of a cartoon. It has for Revelation figures, pretty good detail. All right, you can see the so he comes with the 2 hand. He already comes with the punching hand on one side, and the left side is the semi-open. And he comes with a couple hands. I'll show you that accessories in a minute, but I like it. Has that typical sculpting. Now, of course, the $1,000,000 question is, does he stink? I do smell some type of odor. This was the problem I kind of smelled on, I want to say, on the Origins, which I'll compare them. Obviously, you can't smell that. Only I can, but it does stink a little more, I think. And I know that the Origins, they use that patchouli oil or something they call it, right? And, I think he smells a little. There's more smell on my nose with him than the Origins anyway. But, yeah, it's pretty cool. So let's bring him for a closer look. All right. So, yeah, obviously in the package, he comes with the unmasked head, I want to call it, because they do give him a second head. Yeah, just really cool sculpt. I like the detail on it. Bring him in a little bit. You kind of see the eyes, how it's done, the teeth. Really, yeah, awesome. The white rings around his eyes like the skunk. He has more of your typical form. More the merman form, I want to call it, right, from the vintage toy, instead of the fish form. And in classics, or now in Origins, we got 2 different styles. But I like this one. It works for the Stinkor for the Revelations. Pretty cool. Now, comes with that typical Mechaneck armor. Now, we haven't seen Mechaneck, but here you go again, like the Origins. Now you have an armor made, hopefully in Revelation Season 2. Maybe we'll see Mechaneck. That drops this month. Yeah, I don't know, who knows how that cartoon's going to go, but they showed a lot of different characters from what I seen in the trailer, but yeah, you can make a Mechaneck now with that. Now, your articulation, really hindered by this armor. They can't really do much. I mean, you can spin left to right, tilt, rotate, all that stuff, but you can't really go forward too much. See that? You can go back, but yeah, that's it. Kind of get stuck on this design. Yeah, it's a hard plastic. Okay, and he has, so his articulation, these guys have excellent articulation. I love it. Has just the awesome paint like Stinkor. Okay, a ball joint in and out. Has a bicep swivels. All right, same thing. The excellent elbow to go all the way in like so. Pinless joints, right, in the wrist too. They have a hinge too, like Origins, go in and out, spin, all that good stuff. Seen it before. Something with this hand. This comes on the open hand. Waist. This guy. Okay, the guy's a split here in the thigh. You can move back, go all the way out like that with a split. Okay, same thing. Excellent knees, double pinless joints in the knees, really good articulation. The boot spins, and then he has the monster type feet, so obviously you can use this for other creatures now down the road. And now mine's really stuck, but I don't want to force it, but isn't kind of, I might have to heat it up. But more or less, they can rotate right now in and out like that. So I can't get him to stand too well. That's why I had him on a figure stand like a lot of these. I don't know if it's the feet, but oh, in the back. So he has a couple tanks. They don't come out. I don't think they do. Maybe they do. No, they look like, no, they're sculpted in, okay. But it's pretty good detail. I give it 2 separate tanks. There's no hoses or something like that. So let's try that. Let's get the armored off. I'm going to pop the armor off. 2 snaps here and see what he looks like under the buck. All right, got the armored off, right, going around. I did get him to stand. I had to really work on the legs and the feet and, you know, straddle it, whatnot, so I can, without relying on a figure stand. But I use stands and everything like I do on my channel. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Got it. All new sculptings. It's all beast body. I like it. Excellent job. Even the paint for what Revelation is going for, pretty cool. So let's check out his spare accessories. This is the masked face here, and actually, oh, look at that. Epoxy pops off. Pretty cool. So now this mouth is more of an open mouth where the other one's closed. And yeah, it just plugs in this little respirator piece. I guess when he wants to off-gas his stink or chemical out of the tanks, whatever he's supposed to be doing. So it kind of comes with that. All right, we get Stinkor's iconic blue shield, since we've seen with the vintage. It was in the classics and the origins. It's a bigger little bit, but yeah, it's done in just a typical blue. Looks like it might have a little metallic highlight sprayed in it to me. Yeah, see, that's what it looks like. Yeah, pretty good. You know, the little harness on the back. These are the 2 different hands you get. You get another semi closed hand and an open, I don't know, point hand, karate chop hand, I call it. So you get that. And this is a close-up of the armor I removed. So it's just, yeah, it's actually when you get it off, it feels hard, but it's like, it's pretty flexible. And that's it. Just 2, you know, these 2 little straps you pop, okay? Very typical. It all is the Emoto. And of course, you got to take the head off, put it over the head, and put it back on. But yeah, good job with that. All right, so we set him up. I got the spare head with the mask on, right? Put the armor back on. I switched out the hands. So this, you know, you have a semi-gripping hand on the right side now. I call it the karate chop hand. You know, when it's not doing nothing, it reminds me of. But the primary reason for those hands is to hold shields. So it does a great job on that. And I put the shield in hand. So yeah, it looks great. And if you're not familiar, let me bring him in and just show you the pegs real quick. All right, so I believe, so as far as the hands, really easy to pop off. That's it. And I believe these are Origins pegs, right? And it just kind of pops like so, right? Real easy. So I like with these, with the Revelations, and the head too. And the head's a little tricky on him because the armor's getting in the way, but I believe that's also Origins peg. We're going to test it out with the Origins Stinkor. All right, these are the 2 heads side by side. So obviously I took the mask off this, and actually, this is actually different. His eyes are more where the mouth is open. Check that out. The painting's a little different. The eyes are more squinted, ready for an attack mode, which is pretty cool because I kind of remember that in a cartoon. All right, for a little comparison fun, bring in the Revelation Stinkor and the Origin Stinkor. Check those 2 guys out together. All right, and this is the best I got with the classics. I said on my channel all the time, my classics, most of them roll mint on card. But just kind of give you a side-by-side comparison. You can check that out. It's pretty good for the bubble, you can see. Yeah, it's really, obviously very reminiscent of Stinkor. You know, they always look, whether it's the Origins or the Vintage, but pretty, kind of a different design a little bit as far as the armor and the head. But I like it, but everything else stayed true, right? The hands, the color, the fur, the loincloth is larger, obviously, and the shield's bigger. But yeah, I like it. So that's kind of those guys together. And for fun, too. Now, this is another one I left in card. This was NECA Staction. Now, you can really see, this is very overly complicated with these guys, okay? If you take a close look at that. But in a sense, it's kind of what the Revelations remind me of. That's what I always say to people. Something between the 2000X and the classics and in the vintage in a sense. That's what they remind me of. That's why I like them. I think I love the articulation. I like them a lot. I think a lot of people are really getting turned, you know, just, they want to start collecting them or getting into certain figures. But that's, you kind of see the head, just the overall anime design. That's what it reminds me of. But a little more, of course, on the simple side to stay true to the Filmation or maybe the vintage figures. So, all right, for a little fun here now, obviously I don't have a classics out. Now, the classics heads don't fit these anyway. There is a way you can modify. You have to drill one, and one don't fit over the other. It's too loose. You know, unless you have a spare head, it's not really what they're designed for. But a lot of these Revelations do seem to mix, at least the pegs with the Origins. So let me pop the 2 heads off and see if I can get that. You know, maybe some people want to see this. Maybe it's stupid, but we'll check it out. Let's try to do that. Now check that out. I changed the 2 heads over, so we got the Origins Stinkor head and Revelations on the. They look great, man. Check that out. Looks pretty cool. I'm liking that. And still the articulation's good, right? Up and down. So actually, this articulation works better now because you don't have this protruded nose. That's the difference they did with the Revelation Stinkor. But yeah, it works pretty good. And then the origins, see, it's backwards. See how, yeah, that protruded, that nose hits that guard on it, on the armored. But you can still turn left to right and back and forth and whatnot. It's kind of tight, but it works pretty cool. And it looks great. All right, and just to prove my point, you can also put the origins, see, it's the same peg in hand, so you can have smaller hands instead of the oversized hands. And then same thing, you can put the larger hands in this Stinkor if you want. It color kind of, I think it can work, it matches. And I also, to bring this guy in, I also changed out the alternative head with the face mask. Now, even though it protrudes even further, what's cool with the origins, because the armored is so flexible, check that out. It actually works and articulates. So you can do that too. So I think that's pretty cool. All right, so we changed everything out, right? Whatever comparisons I had available. Overall, I think he's an awesome figure. I'm loving these revelations, man. Yeah, like I said, aside, now we have the cartoon coming out, the second season soon. I think it's what, 23rd November or something, it drops on Netflix. Trailer looks good, but you know, here we go again. The whole thing. I don't know. And it's a shame because it's like in season 1 we didn't really see a lot of him. He looked awesome, and then of course, like in 2 minutes, Teela beat him up. You know. Hey, let me reiterate. Hey, there we go. How's that? Make you feel better? That's what reminds me of when I seen Stinkor. That's the image I get in my head. But we're going to fix that. All right, there we go. Yeah, I think it'd be more something like that. Stinkor's pretty powerful, you know, with that noxious fume special stink powers he has. Teela's a strong character, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I like that. All right, little toy therapy. So, all right, enough fooling around. All right. So overall, no, seriously, I think he's a great figure, man. I like the sculpt. I like the articulation. He has a menacing look. Again, with limited time we've seen in the cartoon in season 1. Now in season 2 in the trailer, they show a little more of him. Maybe we'll see more. I'll get your hopes up, you know. But you know, I think these revelations are great, and I get comments all the time. People like, yeah, I really like him, or you know, I want to pick a couple up, but because you have animosity against the cartoon, I don't like the cartoon. You know, just get the figures. Why you don't like the cartoon? Hey, we're getting some cool figures out of it. Why does it got to ruin your toy collection? You know, it's because of bad writing. Just enjoy it. But he looks great. Love it. He smells, and the more I have him, the more I can smell that kind of reminiscent of the vintage Stinkor. I think. I think better than the origins. Again, it could be my figure, but yeah, I like the head he gave him with the mask. It's even sculpted a little different. His shield, the hands. Awesome. So, yeah, I hope that answers all your questions. Thanks for watching. You have any comments, hit me up. I'll get back to you one day. And I hope everybody's doing great. And until next time, take care.